Welcome back to another Handy Bros Insider. The last couple Insider videos, we've been going over business development and research and development. We're going to start this series by diving into something that we've called Chisel. You might have heard us drop that name many times over the last however many videos. And maybe it's always piqued your interest. What is Chisel? What does that mean?
Chisel is a mindset. It's a commitment.
Chisel is basically a lifestyle in a way.
Abraham Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to cut down a tree, and I'll spend the first 4 sharpening the axe." It's all about results for effort. If you have a dull chisel, it takes a lot of effort. If you have a sharp chisel, little effort, a lot of results. That's why we called it Operation Chisel.
Imagine you come to the building in which you've purchased. You own the company and you're working there, and you're like, every day is tough. You got to get customers on the board. It's sporadic, weather dependent. And you just go outside for some fresh air, and you're walking around and you walk by the garbage bin and you see bags of inventory mixed with the garbage. So you jump in, you pull the inventory out, and you see some random tools. You're like, what's going on here? Like, who would throw this stuff out? So then the next day you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch the garbage bin, see what's going on. So then you see that crews come back, it's late, it's kind of dark, I'm standing there watching them unload, and they all have buckets. At the end of the day, they just take all the stuff from the basement, throw it all in the bucket, put it on the van, and either that night they would just sift it in the darkness into the garbage, or in the morning, which a lot of times we start like 7 or earlier, it's still dark. So I looked at that, I thought, how much money is being thrown in the garbage here? That in itself was enough to just start organizing everything.
How the parts get from the cart onto the pod, how the stuff comes in the morning and makes its way onto the shelves. Everything we do back there is viewed from that viewpoint of like, how can we be the most efficient machine? And then it translates into an even larger scale of how can we be efficient on site, out in the customer's home, working out of our vehicles. How can that be efficient? How can we make it better? How can we shave that time down?
The main problems we were trying to solve really were labor inefficiencies, all the wasted time, as well as how much time it took on site to actually complete a job. It was also inventory management, and we relied on the installer or the service person to move all that inventory themselves on a piece of paper, and we expected that it would be close to perfection, which it never was. You also have standardization. No longer did we want it so that every crew installed something differently. We want everything to be the same at a different level. It didn't matter who we sent, the Handy Bro standard would be upheld.
Today, if Mitch and I did not have Chisel, if Eric and them all hadn't arranged all the infrastructure on that, we would probably need another 30 people.
And I bet you go to any competitor right now, you open their vehicle doors, you're gonna find a complete mess. Every van's gonna be custom, there's gonna be no standard, and every crew's doing things differently. Here at Handy Bros, now because of Chisel, it's just not a thing. Whether we're talking about installation or service, there is a Chisel process for both that pretty much eliminates inefficiency.
I have no stress anymore. Seriously, because like all these problems are solved. Like I've never even saw fitting in the garbage since.
What I'd like to see in the future, you walk into our warehouse, our production facility, and it looks like you're in SpaceX or Tesla, and literally everything has its place. Everything is neat and tidy, perfectly organized. The end product rolls out the door the exact same every time, to a standard that just cannot be matched. And I actually think we're very close to that. But where I see it going is the actual production facility, where we actually refine that and bring in technology that will make us even more efficient and produce an end product that is untouchable on every level.